heading into the road into Brushy Mountain. Hopefully that looked cool. Now, we are here for a couple of reasons. One, I have received a tip regarding what's going on in the Devil's Triangle, which is an area back that way. In the mountains behind Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary, there is a slew of paranormal events that have been well documented for decades, going all the way back to before that building was even built. Now, what's interesting is that my friend and John came out here one night and we were investigating the prison, and we heard the scariest sound that you will ever hear in your entire life. And it seems like every time that I come out here, the freaking heavy clouds move in. I mean, look at those. Look at those clouds. And the temperature drops and it pushes me out. But the sound is one of many things that has occurred here. There was a group of, I wish I would have recorded them because they just drove by. There was a group of people that were riding side-by-sides out in this area that claim that they ran into one of those rake things. Those things that, you know, I initially said isn't probably actually paranormal. It's probably more of like a legend. But I always try to be open-minded. Now, what's interesting is that in Brushy Mountain, there are actual sightings of what they call a crawler. So it's this sort of kind of black and crawls up towards the people. Now, this is very similar to the Rake encounters that happened. This wind is crazy today. What I want to do is I want to get us up out into the mountains back behind Brushy. We are going to do a little bit of investigating out there, and we're going to see if we can locate this rake creature that everybody keeps talking about and apparently experiencing. Now, I know everybody is waiting on my Feral People documentary to come out, but I'm working on it. But in the meantime, we are still hitting a lot of investigations. Now, what's really cool about this mountain, this entire area, this land actually connects to Red Ash Cemetery. It's the same area, and that keeps going all the way to Chuck Swan. Now, all of these mountains, they include some of the most wildest paranormal sightings that happen. And there's a reason for that. All of the Appalachian Mountains are really old, but what's interesting about this particular section out here is these mountains were not created as a result of two faults crashing into each other and pushing up. These mountains were actually carved out of the earth. So this area is completely different than any other place in the world. These mountains are probably the oldest mountains in Appalachia, this particular section. In the area that we are going to be traveling through, we're going to be doing this in multi-stages. We have obviously the KLR behind me, and we are going to be riding that off-road from Red Ash Cemetery all the way here. And we're also going to be investigating Chuck Swan State Park, where there are tons of sightings of a large winged cryptid. So could a Mothman actually be in this mountain chain? You tell me. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Definitely give me a like and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. I put a ton of work into all of this, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Here we go. Here we go. Into the mountains. We are going to be running our lightning strike. I don't really need my GPS at this moment, so here we go. Of black ice, because yeah, so I can't really dig in on these corners. See, there's ice everywhere. So I don't know if my lightning striker is picking up on the EMF signals from my engine, or if it's picking up paranormal stuff. That was a freaking hairpin turn. Like, I just gotta be so careful on that shit, because if I lay down, that's gonna suck. But these are the same mountain ranges that a large Mothman-like creature is reported. A Rake creature went across the road and scared the dog shit out of people on side-by-sides. Up in the Devil's Triangle. Up there, there's all kinds of weird stuff. That's the ridge that I tend to see a lot of activity on. See, that's some mud right there. Alright, we're going up and above and beyond. Alright. So typically, we would stop there and hike back up through the fire tower. But we're not doing that today. We're going deeper in to the mountains. And it is so wild. I didn't realize that these were literally carved out over time. God. Because that would be so much fun, just hauling ass through here. But we can't do that. I mean, look how desolate that area is. Oh, I would love to stop right here, but there's not really a pull-off. And you can see where the mountain is just claiming itself back. All right.
With stained glass eyes, boarded up, still looking out. Gravestone sunk in the weeds, days scraped off, worn down. Footprints beside your own, same size. blinks, then goes blind. Every path splits in two. In the hollows, in the pine, something's watching from the line. Past the fire's failing light, where the ridge cuts out the sky. You keep calling out its name, but it never does reply. In the hollows, in the pines, you are not alone tonight. As the wind what it has seen, cabins burned and names erased. As the creek what it has kept, rusted metal, wedding veils, chains. Every story leaves a stain, every secret has a sound. You came searching for a sign, I was following you down. In the hollows, in the pine.
Okay, so I just had to turn my GoPro on really quick because this car just came out of nowhere. And like, this isn't really, like, I'm stopped on the side of the road, but there's not anything near here. Like, this is basically just a road in the middle of the mountains. But I wanted to stop specifically in this spot because it is such a desolate location. This is going to be the area. That was kind of weird. My camera just turned off. It might have been because I was shaking it, but it's a GoPro. And I wanted to get a lot of thermal readings, but oddly enough, the thermal camera is kind of struggling. So that's going to be and the temperature is dropping quick. There's all this weird sand everywhere. So if a safety zone, I've actually never seen that. I'm not 100% sure why my thermal camera is struggling to get past, like, hopefully I recorded that. That was some knocking. There's a frozen water puddle. There's a pond. So any creature that would be coming through here. My camera keeps shutting off. Really weird. It might be the temperature drop because the temperature has significantly dropped here. See, so this is the area where a lot of people dump shit just because it's out in the middle of nowhere. What I wanted to do is I wanted to get the thermal out and get a good measurement of this area, because this is kind of this is like the stopping point of everything. Yeah, that was kind of weird. My camera just turned off. It might have been because I was shaking it, but it's a GoPro, and I wanted to get a lot of thermal readings, but Oddly enough, the thermal camera is kind of struggling. So that's going to be... And the temperature is dropping quick. There's all this weird sand everywhere. So if a safety zone, I've actually never seen that. And I'm not 100% sure why my thermal camera is struggling to get past, like, hopefully I recorded that. That was some knocking. Because there's a frozen water puddle. There's a pond. So any creature that would be coming through here would stop in this area. So we are looking. Did my camera turn off again? It keeps shutting down. Like, what is this? Why is this? Unless it's a guardrail. Yeah, there's a bridge up there. I bet that is icy as all get out. Those are really weird rock formations. Like, what? Wait a minute. Is this like a block off to keep people out? This is a super weird rock formation. Oh my God, look at this. That was stacked. See, this is the stuff that I really wanted to find. Rock formations like these. See up there, that is the power line. This is where they used, I don't know how they would run. So this is kind of like a power line trail that cuts all the way through the mountains, like for miles. In my opinion, this is going to be where, I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to show you, some sort of animal would be, or cryptid would be moving through. Ow. So something has been jutting through here for sure. That was a scary sound. Look at this. There's a toe, or that could be a hand. And it cuts up through there. That's a big, that's cutting through. There's some scat. Temperature's dropping quick. The only thing is it's super hard to ride when it's freezing. And I want to get and I'm kind of worried about leaving my bike. Sketchy ass people driving by. But this is where you get picked up. This is where the missing 411 cases happen. But I can't imagine one of those rake things being, I don't know what they are. In Native American folklore, they had something called raven mocker, which is kind of like a spiritual being that is also associated with the feral people. That was some weird tracks. The raven mockers were considered to be extremely evil. If this rake creature could have been mistaken as a feral person or the other way, but the descriptions that I got was this thing was like really low to the ground. It was like scooting, almost like crawling, but it was super fast. And in Brushy Mountain, they have sightings of something that they call the crawler up there. And it's pretty much guaranteed. So I'm kind of walking back to the bike just because I'm a little concerned about where I'm at, because it's one thing to be up on the trails like where tourists go, but when you get off of the trail and you end up in a location like this, this is where you disappear. And the sun is coming down quick. I mean, it's going on, I think, 7 o'clock. Yeah. So whatever that footprint was would have came up and over And then, oh, I might have to get a flashlight. Hold on. Got the old light rocking. So something has been coming up through here as well. That kind of looks like drag. I don't know. My heart is racing. There we go. That's kind of cool. Let's check that out. This body armor definitely keeps your core warm. It's kind of hot right now. But I definitely feel a lot safer. Why is that rock? Is it just frozen? Whoa. I don't know if y'all heard that. Y'all had to have heard that. That was a weird fucking sound. It sounded like, I don't even know, it sounded like somebody talking to a toilet paper roll. I don't know about that shit. Still got a long ride back. Because the rocks are like silk, they're like, I am not alone. So it's kind of the weird thing about being out in such quiet is every little sound is a little freaky. I just heard footsteps for sure. Hold on, I'm gonna put in a new battery just in case. This area is getting intense, y'all. And I'm trying to stay cool, calm and collected. But that voice was fucking weird. It was like an echoed, I don't know. Hold on.
So I gotta be really careful here with ice. Black ice. Whoa, just like that. Yeah, the wind's picking up and the temperature's dropping. I don't really like being on mountain roads when you got ice everywhere. Oh shit, what the fuck is that? Hold on, y'all. Ah, shit. Can't get back to... Thought I saw something. Just kind of worried about cutting into these corners. I'm gonna have to get a drop holster for my pistol, I think, because so here's where we usually go in, back up through here. It's pretty frequently traveled now. There are other access points to other parts of the mountains, but it's dark, getting dark, and I need to get off of this mountain. But riding through here at dusk is pretty freaking sweet. Turn that on. Just saw one of those lights. Man, this is crazy. I can't imagine being a prisoner and having to walk all the way back to the freaking horrible prison of Brushy Mountain after mining all night long or all day long. So really, any kind of cryptid could be here. Like, this isn't just like the Smokies. The Smokies are huge and they're beautiful. But the Cumberland Mountains, I think, are probably older. I'm gonna have to look it up. In this specific area. Like, in Cades Cove, like, I swear there's a freaking dinosaur. I mean, it's crazy. The sounds that I heard that night. And John said it was gonna happen. And it's in one specific area. So we're gonna have to go back. The wind's blowing me everywhere. Glad I'm not on the CT. That's gonna be my camping bike, I think. Might with the family. Man. Alright, let's stop here for a second. Do my outro.
All right, y'all, so that is part one of this upcoming adventure we are going to be doing. So you all can see back in the background there, the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary sign. You got the KLR. Pretty freaking sweet. So on these upcoming adventures, like, things are gonna pick up really quick and really fast. I'm gonna stand in front of my light so y'all can see me. So we are going to be traveling, and nobody else is gonna be able to do this except for me. I'm the only guy, I think, gonna put it all down on this, because what I found with the feral people, where they're located, these mountains are holding something absolutely wild. They're one of the oldest mountains in the United States, and they were not as a result of two tectonic plates forming each other. These wore down. So literally anything could be in this mountain, in this mountain chain going all the way from Brushy Mountain to Red Ash Cemetery, where people are well documented getting chased by all kinds of shit out there. That's where we're going next. And then we're gonna go to Chuck Swamp. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Definitely give this video a like and let me know what you thought of it in the comments. And until next time.